Trucker Steve here, back with part 2. The need for the FMCSA to start making CDL schools accountable for higher training standards. In upcoming videos, I will make suggestions on some of the wording that the FMCSA can put on the form. So my suggestions on how the FMCSA can better inform the new CDL students on what they should expect from a CDL school for their entry-level driver training. The FMCSA, in my opinion, should create a form outlining what the FMCSA expects from every CDL school to provide to their new CDL students. This will be handed to the student from the CDL school. Yes, I know it's in writing on the FMCSA website, but it's not enforced, and most students are not even aware of the website, and they don't even look at it anyway. They got better things to do. This form should be required, in my opinion, to be given to every new CDL student by every CDL school. So it'll be a written form, not only on the website, but be written, and every CDL school will have a copy of this and give it to the new student on day one. Also, the CDL school shall give every new CDL student a contract. Some schools do, some schools don't. But now, in my opinion, every school should give a student a contract outlining what their CDL school will be offering to that student. That's their customer. So, what should be stated on this FMCSA form? How can a clearly worded form help the new CDL student receive a quality CDL education? Good training. How can it help them? If a CDL schools would be required to give each new CDL student a clearly worded contract, no small printed words, everything clearly written, along with what I suggested, the FMCSA form. Do you think this will help and hold CDL schools more accountable? So they're getting the form, and now they know what to expect from the school and what the FMCSA expect the schools to offer the student. Now they have it in their hands. No questioning. If they violate that contract, the student does have some kind of power to fight back. If you go to the FMCSA website, some of these suggestions, what I'm talking about, will be the following. On the FMCSA website, all CDL schools shall follow the entry-level driving training curriculum that includes both classroom and behind-the-wheel training. So that's from their website. Training programs must adhere to the federally established entry-level driver curriculum for Class A and B endorsement candidates. They don't fully adhere to it. It's not enforced, so they don't abide by it. Behind-the-wheel range and public road training with specific maneuvers that trainees must demonstrate proficiency determined by the instructor. And what I want to see that instructor sign off on the form that student is proficient. That's not happening. That needs to be included when the student completes his training. I want that instructor to sign the form. And I want whoever's the director of the school to sign that form. Because if that student is not proficient, he's failing 3 or 4 times, they can be held accountable. Safe driving practices, FMCSA regulations, but with no minimum hours of theories or behind-the-wheel training. requiring proficiency in all required elements. So it is right now no minimum hours of behind the wheel training required that schools give these students. This has to change. There must be some minimum hours requirement. Let's say it's 12. I always use the number 12 hours on a public road, not learning how to shift or whatever, on a public road driving, 12 hours, no less. Now, if a good school wants to go up to 20, 25 hours of driving, fantastic. And they can advertise, come to our school, and we're going to give you a lot of behind the wheel training, and you're going to be good. Upon completion, the training provider electronically certifies that the student's training records. He certifies that self-certify that on the trainer provider registry that the student is proficient in all skills and ready to be tested. But I want clear wording. The wording proficiency is not on that certification letter. It doesn't appear. That needs to, when the school sets up the students for testing, they need to get the word in there. That wording needs to be added in the form. Make the owners of the school, the CDL instructors, all accountable that those students are proficient. They are ready to be tested. Not that they go out and be set up for a test and they fail 3 or 4 times. Most students are going to pass. But the 5 or 6 in a class who keeps on failing, they took their money. Either you put them out of the school because they should not be truck drivers, or if you take their money, then you are responsible. You're responsible to train them or help them catch up if they're behind. So, what written information would you want to see on this form? What I just read off was some of the FMCSA, what they had on their website that I want to see on a written form handed to the student, but I'd like to see some additional recommendations from the FMCSA. So what, in your opinion, what would you like to see that should be on a form from the FMCSA and the school? So coming soon will be part 3, and I will put down some of the things that I like to see. I would put a make-believe form up and with some suggestions that should be handed to the student before he starts his class. And then when he ends his class, he can look at it and say, wait a minute, I did not get this, I did not get that. You said you're going to give me this on the contract, you did not, and now the student has something to fight with if he wants to, if that student, he or she wants to fight back. See you on the next one. Be safe out there.